What's up, guys? I am standing because it is finally time to install our Vega 64s. So, here's what we're going to do. Sorry about the echo, my room sucks. And the desk mess, but there's nothing we can do. But, this is just going to be a chill kind of video of literally just me installing the two graphics cards, because we have a 1300 watt power supply, 80 plus gold. Oh, that's actually useful. 80 plus gold right there. We are going to install it right now. With well, not install it. We're going to install our Vega 64s. If you haven't seen the video, look up my better than a 2080 Ti for $400 video, and you will find it. So let's see. Is this the front Vega or the back Vega? This is the back Vega. Perfect. Now you're probably wondering why I have a front Vega and a back Vega. This one has some scratches on it. It works flawlessly. So the back Vega is actually in the top PCI Express slot, which doesn't really matter. But yeah, so basically, the back Vega just has some scratches, so it goes in the back because it's uglier. It smells good. Let's say good. It smells fine. Alright, that is one Vega installed. We will have to do the radiator though here in a sec. Because actually, if you don't have it mounted, how you really want it, it's going to be a bad time. So you kind of want to have the radiators as much as you can. I mean, having it on the bottom or something like that is not going to kill you. But general principle, have the radiator above or at least adjacent to the graphics card. So like this would be like up over here. But whatever, let's install the second one real quick, then we'll do radiators. Or, no, we should start with radiators. So this one, this guy's on the top, so he's on the back. He will get, we have a fan here already. The reason I don't have two is I don't have enough of these fan screws. Basically, we're going to do push-pull. We have a fan in the back pulling air through, and a fan in the front pushing it through. More airflow, more cooling. You're probably wondering, if you've been here, anyone who's been here will know that this is my Ryzen 5 1600 system. And that just raised a bunch more questions. You're probably wondering, why in the world are you installing two Vega 64s in Crossfire on a Ryzen 5 system? Well, that's a good question. And the answer is, it was easiest and most possible. I wanted to do it in Threadripper, but it was simply not possible to fit the radiators into the case in the way it is. I would have to have taken apart the entire thing, which no one wants to see. And I simply just cannot find the time to do. I would have to remount the radiator for the CPU, the 360, on the side of the case, which is a process, and then mount these to the top, which is another process, moving all the fans, all my cables, and all my hard work. It just simply isn't working. Worth it. It's going to have an air-cooled GPU when it comes in. 7700K couldn't get it, because the power supply will not fit in the case. This 1300 watt power supply is old-ish compared to like a newer one, so it is large, and it doesn't fit in some cases. My iBuyPower case is no exception. It would not fit. Did I leave myself enough room? Like, at all? tight fit. Get your mind out of the gutter. Oh, wow. I wish I had a camera person right about now. I don't even know if that's in. Let's screw that in. Let's get around. That's beautiful. I'm not entirely sure what's going on with this mount, but we got it in. I'm trying to do everything from this side because this is where the mount. This is where the mic is. Wow, that is pretty. Okay, let's get our connections. So we need 2 by 2 8-pins. So 4 8-pin connectors for all this, which we have conveniently plugged in already. You can tell when Thermaltake was making the vertical mounting for this case, they never thought this kind of monstrosity would appear. I'm calling monstrosities because of how beautiful it is. Not for any other reason. Alright, let's get our second set of 8 pins plugged in. And we're just going to boot it up and make sure everything's working, set up Crossfire, and that's it. That'll be the video. I hate these I hate these stupid 6+2 pins. They never work for me. I like sleeve cables, just can't afford to buy a lot of them. It's $70 and it's not even like a full set. You get 2 8-pins and a 6. That's it. So, I couldn't even do this. I could hook up 1 GPU with those sleeve cables. This is the part that makes me mad. Especially knowing how bad the audio is going to be. Alright, that's all plugged in. I'm not even going to bother mounting the radiator. Because we're just testing. Where's the connector? Alright. DisplayPort goes into the back GPU because it is in the top slot. That's just how I'm going to do it. And that's the one with the radiator. Oh god, there's no way this works, right? That should be fine. Will this work? First try. Alright, let's test it. That's, we got sounds. The screen turned on for a second. There's noise. Motherboard's lit up. RAM is lit up. Cards are both lit up. Screen is the only thing not lit up right now. Maybe we try the second graphics card. Now there also is a huge chance they're like not plugged in fully. Nope. Oh, is this where we have to like restart it? Hold on, let's restart 1 sec. Last time we had to do this. When we put in the Fury X recently, because I thought the motherboard was... Oh yeah, quick update. So you're probably sitting here wondering like, why haven't I adjusted the fact that this motherboard's clearly working? The motherboard wasn't fried, it was the 24-pin connector. Made it seem like the motherboard was fried. It was some weird stuff going on. But in the end, it works. Do I have to do something like install with 1 GPU first? Because I'm going to freak if I do. I forgot that my camera had a 20-minute record limit on 1080p 60. Hence why I usually record at 4K anyway. But you'll notice that there's only one card in here and one card on the table. And that's because I just explained for multiple minutes that because we're using such a budget motherboard, now I have nothing against Gigabyte. I use a Gigabyte 1080 Ti and it's been great for the couple of years I've had it. So I'm just installing the drivers for you to do them manually. Windows Update won't grab them. I have nothing against Gigabyte. It is a budget board, and what do you expect from a budget board is that you get one 16x lane for the for your GPU. The other 16x slot will run at 4x speed, and the motherboard just won't accept two GPUs. Even if you want to run one at 4x speed, which is a horrible idea, but if you did, it won't run it. It's not Crossfire enabled. Though it is budget, so you expect I got it for $30, $40 actually, but it's $70 originally. It's not that great. B450 though, it's fine. It works with one GPU. It works for gaming. Like I could put a 3600 actually. Like I said, my friend's PC had a 3600 and the Wi-Fi version of the board, the box right there. So it's not a horrible board. It's B450 and everything, but you can't run Crossfire. Which means I'm going to have to. I'm fat. Which means I'm going to have to put a lot more effort into this than I'd hoped. Now I try to put as much effort as will make the video better. It's not going to be much better with the effort. It's just going to work. I was really hoping I could do this, not because it would run at amazing speeds or it would be so amazing. What an upgrade! It's falling drivers. But it would just be cool to run Crossfire. Don't forget, none of my computers can run Crossfire at full speed. I do not have anything past the 7700K. My personal 7700K, not the 10K giveaway PC one, but my personal 7700K is absolute garbage. I cannot overclock it. Auto OC actually underclocks it, and it boosts to 4.4 gigahertz, but it's not good enough. Like if I could get it to 5, which everyone else can get theirs on AI or liquid cooling, 5 gigahertz, I would do it and it would run at good speeds. The problem is mine just sucks. If I try to run a stress test on Intel Extreme Tuning Utility, my PC will crash. I sometimes render videos on it because I'm just too lazy to. Well, Threadripper's out of commission, so I'll render videos on it. It'll sometimes hard crash, as in my keyboard, all my USB ports will just turn off. Everything except the screen will just turn off. PC will still be on. Screen will be on. Everything else will just turn off. And then I have to restart the render. That'll happen. I've lost actual video footage. I had a file corrupt recently. That actually just had to do with the camera being the camera. Alright, restarting the PC to install our drivers. So basically what this boils down to is I will have to take these, put them either in Threadripper, which would mean basically redoing the entire computer. Right now, it's got an 850 watt G3 from EVGA. If you don't know the difference, the G2, look how long this is for 1300 watts. The G3, the 850 watt, is about half the size. It's very small. Which means that it fits in the case right now. This will fit in the case, this 1300 watt, but it's giant. It'll take up more room, so I have to move all that. The fans, the motherboard, the way I have the motherboard, part of my problem is that I'm using an eATX motherboard in an ATX case. If you don't know, extended ATX, eATX, has the same screw holes as ATX, but the motherboard is just extended a little more past those screw holes. It covers up some of the things like the grommets for the cable management and all that stuff, which ends up, so if I wanted to put a radiator there, it would interfere with either SATA cables or the 24-pin connector or the CPU cables, which ends up being a problem for obvious reasons why I can't mount a radiator with tubes, I guess you can call them, going to them, which is a little disappointing, a little difficult, but we'll have to figure that out. So Threadripper might not be an option without rebuilding or changing cases. The 7700K, well, the power supply just straight up doesn't fit in the case. Now, I could switch the case, but it's a pain. It is a pain in a hot room to switch the case. So, like, when I do case switches, I'm probably just going to wait till winter to switch around the cases. Though I do like this case as a test bench, but I definitely need to get a motherboard that can handle Crossfire and SLI. Both the Threadripper board and the ASRock board are Crossfire ready. for the Z270 or whatever. But that's a little disappointing. I mean, at least one works. At least we got... it wasn't working at first, and I was scared, but it was just, you gotta restart it a couple times. Yeah, Radeon RX Vega. It appears as a Vega. I don't know if... because they call the liquid cooled, like, they're so specific about it being a Vega liquid cooled, but it's weird that it is just called a Vega. It's not even called a Vega 64 in Task Manager. I'll install GPU-Z. Now, I actually recently switched out the drive on this PC. In other news, I got my first NVMe SSD. Now, I had full plans on installing it in Threadripper. The way that you mount, there is a heatsink and everything on Threadripper motherboard, the X399 Prime A, Prime X399A from Asus. There's a way to mount it, and there's a, I'm standing for no reason, but I gotta stop sitting because I'm fat. There is a spot where you could put a M.2 NVMe SSD. You have to put like a weird little standoff in on top of like the regular screw hole. Like on this board, it's just a screw hole, you screw it in, standoff's like already installed. That board, nope, they couldn't do the decency to just install the standoff on the board so you don't lose it. So the only other slot is the vertical mounted slot, which is already held up by a different SSD. So I can't be editing off of NVMe, so it became this boot drive, which kind of sucks. But what are you gonna do? My actual hope for the Vega 64 Crossfire is it might take a little bit, but my hope is to get an X570 board, like the MSI one that's like red and black because it would match the Vega so well. A X570 board and maybe like a 3700. Not even that. It would probably end up being either a 2700X, which is pretty cheap right now and would be pretty great. 8 cores, plenty. 2700X, beautiful. Maybe a 3600, but I'm really shooting for the 8 cores, and it would probably end up becoming my editing PC. Threadripper is becoming disappointing by the day, but it will still probably remain as a streaming PC. I mean, I have it, might as well use it. I've got the Elgato in it and everything. But that's really it. So we tried. You saw what it looked like, at least with the Vegas in it. I hope you enjoyed this weird video and kind of chatting and talking about what Crossfire, what we're going to do with it. But we've got them. Can't wait to use them more. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.